Hello, 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 everybody. All right, today we're going to continue on our integer talk. Today we are going to be comparing and ordering integers. Integers, just a reminder, are just basically negative and positive whole numbers. Okay, so we're just putting them in order, and so we need to be able to understand which one's larger and which one's smaller. So before we move on, we do have to remind ourselves some of the signs that we should know that maybe we just need a little bit of a refresher. That first symbol that I want to go over is this one. This is an inequality. This inequality represents greater than, and I'd like you to go ahead and I'd like you to write this on the side. This is a greater than sign. Greater than, okay? And an example of a greater than sign would be something like 5 is greater than 3. And that would be our example of the greater than sign. Now that you've seen the greater than sign, I'm sure you know what's coming next, and that is the less than sign. This is the less than sign, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to write less than. Less than. And our example of a less than sign might be 4 is less than 2. All right, so this is again the greater than sign and the less than sign. We're going to be using those a lot today since we are going to be comparing numbers. All right, so one way that we can compare numbers is by using a number line. One thing that we need to know is that with our negative numbers, the further left you go, the smaller the number. The further right you go, the larger the number. So again, numbers that are further right are larger, and numbers that are further left are smaller. Now that may seem something that you already know, but we just want to be clear. For instance, -3 is smaller than -2 because it's further left on the number line. One of the things that I like to say is negative land is like opposite land. And so when we're in the negative land, if it's what we think is a larger number, it's actually smaller because negative land is like opposite land. So it's the opposite of what we originally think. All right, so for this first example, they went ahead and they gave you the graph and they said compare. You have -4 and you have 12. Well, 12 is further right, so 12 is larger. So if it's larger, I'm going to get the greater than sign. Now, if you're someone that has learned in the past that it eats the larger number, then remember it that way. If for some reason you still struggle with the greater than or less than sign, one of the other ways that I like to do is 12 is greater than 4, correct? -4. So 12 gets 2 dots, and the -4 gets 1 dot, and we connect them, and it makes our symbol. So you can remember it by using the dots, or you can remember it by it eats the larger number. Either way. All right, let's do these got it problems. I want you to go ahead and try these got it problems. What symbol would you put? So I have -3, -5. Well, if I'm thinking about it on a number line, -3 would be further right. So this is a greater than symbol. -3 is larger than -5. Now remember, if they're both negatives, it's like opposite land. For letter B, you should have said -5 is less than. For letter C, you should have said, oops, I'm sorry, just wrote the wrong one. It's a greater than. But for some reason, it never lets me erase. There we go. Here we go. This should be a greater than symbol. There we go. All right. So that is comparing. Now let's talk about an example when we have it in a word problem. So let's go ahead to the got it problem. Okay, it says the temperature on Tuesday was 2 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature on Wednesday was negative 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Write an inequality to compare the temperatures. Explain its meaning. When you see write an inequality, they simply just want you to write it using a less than or greater than symbol. So I'm going to write my 2 degrees. I'm going to write Tuesday's degrees and Wednesday's degrees. Tuesday is greater than negative 2. So my inequality is 2 is greater than negative 2. Where it said explain the meaning, I might write Tuesday's temperature is higher. Tuesday's temp, cutting me off, is higher than Wednesday. And that's all it's asking you to do. When you see in a math problem and say explain the meaning, it's just asking you to write a sentence about it. All right, let's look at the next page. Okay, so the next page is all about ordering. So ordering them from least to greatest or greatest to least. You do always have to pay attention to which one it's talking about, because sometimes the books and tests like to change it up and you don't know which one it's asking. You're actually writing in the opposite order. So we got to pay attention. So we're going to, if we look, there's the first method of using a number line. Now, if I have really large numbers, it's really hard to use a number line. And so, well, a number line's awesome because once it's on the number line, it's in order. Sometimes I have to just kind of use my brain and put them in order that way. So, want you to go ahead and try the got it's E and F. So again, you're putting, now notice, see how they switched it on you. E is greatest to least. So here, what's your largest number to your smallest? For F, what's your least to greatest? So what's your smallest number to your biggest? All right, I want you to go ahead and give those a shot.